What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be taking a look at the Kizer Gavel. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, today I'm going to be giving you my full overview of the Kizer Gavel. What we're going to do today is we're going to do some profile comparisons, weigh the knife, and then jump into my thoughts and impressions. This little guy here is going to be very similar to the Spyderco Para 3, and then here you go against the Spyderco Shaman. It's a little smaller, honestly, than the Para 3. I was thinking when I would put that down, it was going to be a little bit closer, and I am a little surprised just how much smaller it is. But let's keep going. We're going to do another full-size comparison. I'm checking out the Civivi Amorite, so I figured why not use that for a size comparison knife as well. And then we're going to check out the Miguron Carrick Budget. So it's smaller than everything here. I would probably definitely call this a small carry, on the border of a fifth pocket carry, maybe even something that you would throw down in the pouch. Let's just check out the profile really quick. Anyone out there that has picked up the budget Keurig 2, you can see it's just much more compact. And then against the Para 3, very small. I really feel like this is going to be a great option for a fifth pocket, and it's definitely a fifth companion carry for me in my rotation. But I know there's some people out there that just like the smaller, more minimal pocket knives. With those brass scales, it is coming in at almost 4 ounces. That's pretty weighty for this knife, so I am kind of surprised for that. Let's just go ahead really quick and check out the dimensions on the ruler as well. So you've got a 7.5-inch knife with a 2 3/4 blade with just under that for cutting edge. It's actually very close at cutting edge because of the way that it curves back. So for those out there that like to see that, that's how it's going to measure up. And then let's just do thickness profile really quick as well. You can see the profile thickness is coming in a little bit more chunky than the Para 3, and we'll bring the Carrick out here because that has the contoured scales, and it is coming in at almost even. I would go ahead and call that pretty even. We got everything out of the way. Let's do thoughts and impressions. First, we're going to talk about ergos. For a small knife, it actually has plenty of space for me. I would say plenty of space. I would say I have room to get 4 fingers on here, but I do have to choke up, and it does make me get a little close to that edge. If I'm not using that landing spot, it is only a 3-finger knife for me. My pinky is falling off the back. So for me, I 100% choke up here, but try to do that trigger pull position so that I'm not too close to the edge of the knife. And truth be told, I'm using this for more light duty tasks, so that's not going to be an issue for me. Access to the lock bar, a little snug. It's a little snug to get in there, but they did a good job giving just enough relief cut to actually get in there just fine. It has an extremely low profile lipper tab as well, but the jimping on there is really good. My first mistake was I tried to land right on it and flip it when I did it as a light switch instead of a push button, and I missed. What I realized is I actually want to kind of go a little bit further up, like the flipper tab comes up here, but it doesn't. And what happens when I do the light switch is I'm able to actually really rip it. And then what you want to do here is you want to do like a push button or like a hook type flip on that flipper tab, and you can get it as well. But it is a really low profile flipper tab for sure, and it took me a moment to realize the two methods that work best for me. Let me flip back to the lock bar. You're coming in at about 40% lockup, so you got nice lockup coming in on this knife. Unfortunately, because it's a pass round knife, I do not want to do any spine whack tests with this one, so hopefully one of the other channels that got to check this one out were able to do that. You don't feel any of the transition here from the bolster over to the onlay. And then you really don't feel any of the screws. They are nice and recessed. They lay down in there so you're not really hitting on those at all when you're holding the knife. Liners sit flush. The micarta backspacer sits flush, and you have a milled titanium pocket clip that lays flat. So all of that makes this very comfortable in hand. You don't have any hot spots at all. For a small knife, they did a great job keeping this extremely comfortable. I like that about this one. Good jimping too here. It worked really, really well. And the action on the ball bearings, even though it is a small knife, very nice. Good shaker. You got 2, maybe 3 shakes to get it home. I'm trying to get it to stop right at the lock bar, I'm sorry, at the detent ball, but it wants to kind of start. So it is a very light shaker. I haven't tried, yeah, you could reverse flick it. The satin blade is grippy enough to where you can kind of lay a lot of the finger on it and just let it rip reverse flick. So that worked really well. Let's kick it down to the garage. Let's check out the geometry on this one. Okay, we're down in the garage. Let's see what this one's all about. We're going to test the factory edge first. Again, it is a pass around knife, so I don't know how much cutting was done before I got it. Feels okay. It actually, going through that paper, just that one cut, I can tell it's a very thick geometry behind the edge. So this one's definitely more that hard use. But it moves through the cardboard really well. And again, you know, I'm not doing a ton of cutting with these, but nice factory edge. Again, does feel a little thick. Let's kick it back up to the table. So as you saw there, it's a little bit of a thicker blade. And honestly, the geometry isn't super thick. What it is, it's just a very shallow flat grind. It has a lot of blade left past where the grind stops. So it does feel like it's a little bit thicker behind the edge because it ends quicker and it gets thick faster than it would be if it were a full flat grind. Having said that, being that this is going to be a companion knife, something that you're going to use to kind of get into packages, do some light duty cutting, I don't imagine people are going to hard use this one. I think it does very well. It came with a really nice edge. I feel like Kizer has done 154 cm for so long that they've really dialed it in. Similar to RPM 9 from CJRB, like the longer they do it, the more feedback that they get, the things that they may see under warranty claims if it's not right, like they were able to just really dial this one in. I also like the fact that it has a captive pivot, nice chunky scales so that it helps with the ergos, and they did do weight reduction by milling out the internal liners as well to try to keep everything as low as possible on weight. And truth be told, you know, it is a little heavy because of the bolsters, and I didn't look before getting on here at the other models to see if they have other versions of this one, but this is not that uncommon from Kizer. I think this is one of the combos that they offer a lot with this burlap micarta and the brass scales. And a lot of people will take these and they'll do a shipwreck patina, which I personally really like. And then you can spray a clear coat over it to keep it from accelerating too much more when you do it to the point where you like the shipwreck and how it looks. And that's just going to keep it from stinking up, because I will say it does give a little bit of an odor when you first pull it out of the package. You can really smell that brass, and it does get on the fingers a little bit. So that is a little bit of a turn off with this particular setup. But again, a clear coat spray on there, depending on whether you want to have it pristine or whether you want to do a little bit of modding to the brass, depending on how you want to go. You know, that is an option for you to easily get rid of that. I think it's a nice model. A little peculiar that they didn't go satin here to kind of match the blade and the hardware. They went with, you know, just a regular bead blast finish. And I think that's kind of a little bit of a letdown. You know, this knife is coming in at $90, and, you know, for that, it's not that bad of a buy, specifically because you're getting that 154 cm. I would say for smaller knives, you know, you can look at the Bigeron Pagos. I personally like the Moyarl and the Kyrex. For me, it is more of a medium size, but I get it. This is more small size. You also have knives like the Civivi Cubit. You could look at the Para 3. There's a lot of stuff, honestly, Elementum, that you can look at that are going to be kind of close and comparative to this size. But if this speaks to you, it's very well made. It feels good in hand, goes in and out of pocket well, and it came with a nice factory edge. But I can say from my personal experience, Kizer's 154 cm is a good performing steel. Let me know what you think about the Gavl down in the descriptions down in the comments below. Shout out to everyone out there that likes, uses the links, comments, and is subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Special shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you guys. Hope all of you have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.